MPK. We are going to go through suspension today. This is a Mercedes Benz 2000 to 2006 CL500. As everybody knows, these cars have normally factory ABC suspension. Great suspension if it works. If it doesn't work, it's horribly expensive. Power steering pump, which is a tandem pump, $1,600. Crossover valve, $1,300. Each strut, $1,800. The repair and maintenance is absolutely only for people who have big pockets. Now, in order to avoid that, we built a system where we take out the ABC suspension and replace it with coilover struts. These are German springs, German struts. It comes out perfect. You change the power steering pump. You change a couple of fuel lines. Actually, it's not fuel lines, it's the power steering pressure lines on this car, which in the end, the car looks the same, runs wonderful. You can see here that we no longer use the plug of the regular chute. Now, you can see here that it has a coilover strut, very clear visible. You still have the old connector, which is now the ABC connector. It rides wonderful. The only thing is, if you want to have it perfect, you have to install front and rear stabilizer bars. With the stabilizer bars, you also have to change the lower control arm, some center links, which you have to know how to do that. Yeah, you can, some people drive it without putting the sway bars in. This car has sway bars. Also, nice thing is we can build the suspension to the different height of vehicle. That means this one has 18s right now. This car gonna get 20 inches. So with 20 inches, you have the problem that if you have very wide tires in the back, it rubs in the inner fenders. We can have different height of suspension when you order that. The regular kit runs you, including the power steering pump, $1,400 without the sway bars. With the sway bars and the center link and the lower control arms, it runs you $2,000 in parts alone. The parts are in exchange. That means we send you a complete set, power steering pump, struts. We get back the power steering pump with the struts, the crossover valves, and the tandem valve on the other side, or which is also called the pulsation valve. Installation should be done by a professional shop. We can do it. It's sometimes easier if we bring the car, if you even ship the car to us, because we are so fast, we do it on a regular base. For us, it's like something which we do every day, so it's very easy for us to do it actually. You can do it also on automobiles with air suspension. The advantage on automobiles with air suspension is that you do not have to change lower control arms. It has already lower control arms included in the vehicle if you have air suspension. Now, this is higher, as you can see, but this car will get 20-inch rims with big tires, so you need the additional space that the tires, if somebody is sitting in the vehicle, doesn't rub on it. You can do that with coilovers. You cannot do that necessarily with ABC. Now, this is an ABC block valve. One is located in the left front, one in the rear. This can cause that the car sinks down. Has 4 pistons here and on the other side. That's a vacuum canister that also can be faulty. To diagnose these valves, it is tricky. If a shop doesn't know what you're doing, I even had it from Mercedes Benz dealerships. They told the customer, hey, you need struts. But the truth of the matter, it wasn't the strut, it was a block valve. So, and then they blame it on, well, we didn't know. Well, don't work on a car if you don't know. It is very important that you diagnose them properly. But if you plan to keep the vehicle, just pay them one-time fee to convert it, and you have the best car in the world. Plus, it's never going to break. So the next owner will appreciate it that you have it done. This is now an ABC strut. We put on big screws on the bottom, as you can see. People say, oh, they're ugly, but they're much better and easier to take out than the factory struts. The factory struts, if they're a little bit rusted, you can't get them out and drill them out. This is how they look when they're remanufactured. Nice, perfect product. This is an ABC strut, which goes with this plug. This is very important. This is a plug where the 3 wires go. There are 3 wires going there, which is positive, negative, and the data wire. That's how we can tell that it is ABC, active body control suspension. Now, if you have air suspension, very simple. Here is a remanufactured strut from, how they go in these cars. This has on top of it a valve block. This now is sealed, some are not sealed like this. And then you have an airline, which is, this is the airline, which you will see, which is on the top here, on the strut, which goes in here. Then you know that you have a air suspension on your vehicle. Either you have the wire, like this, or you have an airline like this. Now for the Mercedes Benz, we normally have all the parts which are there, which include the cluster, seat modules, shifter, fan control module, computers. All these parts we have in stock normally. We also remanufacture the air pumps. On these cars, this is an air pump, which we remanufacture. We manufacture the air suspension in extreme good quality. They're Goodyear interior bags. The quality is better than Bilstein because it's much thicker. It's like a tire with thicker skin. It lasts longer. Yeah, you need with the air suspension a pump. You can drive on a S-Class the vehicle with only per axle coilovers, or you can convert all 4 of them. But it is possible to drive the car just with the coilovers in the front. Okay, now we're gonna go into the tech room where we do the magic electronics. Here we have the different stations where we basically do the cars. Here we do V12 coil packs. Here we prepare the V12 coil packs. Yeah, that is how they come out in the end. This has to come out, that's the circuit boards. Get a whole bunch of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, over 10 right now in the works. Here are throttle bodies. These throttle bodies come out like new. Every throttle body is tested in a vehicle with a serial number. These throttle bodies are also sold through other companies, which you might recall, like Worldpac sells them. We make them here. We do all the instrument clusters, computers here, modules, drives, navigation systems, radios, AC control units, CD players, computers, more control units. Here we do engine computers, we ship worldwide. This goes to Kingston, Jamaica, Bedford Road. Yeah, that is $2,000 from the dealer. We charge less than half of it. We do also the pixels from all the clusters. That's basically what we do here. And then here in the front, through we have our office. And on the other side, we have our production facility.
Welcome to For Mercedes. My name is Nicole, and I will be explaining to you the difference between an ABC strut with active body control and an airmatic strut when you have air suspension. There's a big old difference between a strut for an S-Class and an SL. On the S-Class, you can have an ABC strut or an airmatic strut. I'm going to show you guys the 220 airmatic strut, which fits in S430 or S500 between 2000 and 2005. At the top of the strut, you will find an airline. And this will let you know basically that you have air suspension and airmatic strut. And it goes into the top of the strut. This is the top of the strut. If you can open your hood and you'll see the bolts in there for the top of the strut. This is the bottom of the strut. On the top of the strut, you have the airline. On the bottom, you have the sensor, which is attached to the travel sensor. And it has one cylinder on there. With a 4MATIC, you would see 2 cylinders. And that's how you would know the difference if you have an airmatic or 4MATIC. With the new bolts that we just manufactured, you can still use the Mercedes Benz bolt, but we do have newer bolts that allows you to tighten as much as you want without actually breaking. We have the new manufactured bolts, Mercedes Benz. We still have Mercedes Benz bolts, so you can request whichever, and we'll send that out to you. Also, on the outer boot on that strut, it's just a cosmetic fit that Mercedes-Benz puts on the outside of the strut. Some of the struts that we do send out are sent without boot, and it does not affect the functionality of the strut. It's just a cosmetic. So with or without boot, still going to work. The big difference between our remanufactured strut and Mercedes-Benz strut, we have a thicker inner bag on the strut made from Goodyear, and it's way thinner on the original Mercedes-Benz strut. Okay, on to the ABC strut. That is with active body control. On the ABC strut, on the top you have the sensor, and on the top of the strut you have the port for the sensor. You have an airline and you have a wire on the top of the ABC strut. You have the fitting, the sensor on the side, and the ABC struts will come with that outer boot. It's just the airmatic strut. Does not need an outer boot. It's a cosmetic fit. It's a dust cover. It's called a dust cover. ABC, active body control, you will know the big difference. With the ABCs, you have to specify that it's for an SL or if it's for an S-Class. There's a big difference. You cannot interchange an S-Class strut for an SL strut. And that's basically the big difference. For more information, you can visit our website, war-mercedes.com, and we can get you all the parts you need for your Mercedes-Benz. Our main phone number is 754-235-0000. You guys can give us a call. Thank you.